I'm not sure why after so many years I come to the computer and go, what button do I press? But I do, so that's fine. That's how it's gonna be. All right. I'm happy that Jeff has joined us. Last week, both dogs skipped class, and that was a little bit unusual. Oh, Jeff, not now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. And good morning from Allergy Central. I'm going to be sniffling all through class, but that's fine. It means it's spring. It's beautiful. Um, where I live in Nova Scotia, the lupins grow wild here, and they're about this big now. We don't have flowers yet, but the leaves are all coming out, and they fill our ditches. They're like everywhere. So they are, I think lupins are my favorite flower. So I'm about probably 1.5, 2 weeks away from them completely exploding. And then we have them for about 2 months and they are the greatest. So I'm very excited about that. Thought I would share that. And also should share that we are going to stretch today, which is, you're like, yeah, stretch, yoga, I get it. But we're going to be intentional about that stretching. And the reason why we're stretching today is because we're making space, right? Like we're really transitioning from one season into another. Um, although I realize like it's been spring for a little bit. I feel like we're starting to transition into the exciting time of year that we kind of think about as being summer, which really goes longer than it does on the calendar. So we want to just kind of throw off any stuff that's still sticking to us and create space for possibility because summer is the time of year when amazing things happen. So I'm sitting on my block, just kind of getting comfortable, grounding into the space as folks are logging in. And I should say good morning to folks who are joining us for the first time. That's exciting. I love when folks give this a try. Everybody's always welcome, and it makes me happy. And Jeff clearly is thrilled. Ted went back to bed, not so thrilled. All right, sitting up nice and tall. Shoulders are up, back, and down. Make your neck as long as it can be. Let's start with some really nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. So just find a comfortable, intentional rhythm. And you're going to close your eyes, soften through the face. And take a moment, even though your eyes are closed, to kind of sense what's going on around you. What's happening around your yoga space. So sometimes it's stuff right in your ear, like the sound of Jeff licking his bug bites. Sometimes it's more of an emotional thing. Do you have some kind of obligation or dread sitting on the sofa behind you? If you do, just push it. It can wait. This is your time. And of course, as we practice week after week, what we do here on the mat allows us to then deal with those things in a much more reasonable way. So take a moment to think about maybe some of the nice stuff that's going to be happening in your day today. Just taking a moment for gratitude. Maybe it's spending time with a new dog. Not me. But I know other folks in our community have welcomed her friends into the family, which is always so exciting. Think about maybe gardening plants, or again, I was excited about lupins growing. My rhododendrons are also starting to explode. So think about the things that you are feeling positive about. And understand as well that if there are things that you're not feeling positive about, trust that you will persevere and manage what life is throwing at you. So let's open the eyes. Start by just kind of stretching the arms out, just getting a sense of what's going on physically today. I thought I was going to get out early for a walk with the dogs, but my coffee, my coffee was exceptionally good today. And I'm kind of at a really exciting point in a book. So I sat in a chair, bundled up, drinking coffee, reading a book, and I thought, my walk can wait. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. I always start by rolling back. So I'm going to roll forward as well. Good. And then just softening through the arms. Let's bring an ear to one shoulder. Obviously not all the way, not all the way to the shoulder. Noticing the amount of tension in the neck. There should be some. And then slowly moving to the other side. And again, thinking about that tension. And is it even? Well, let's bring the head back up. Nice. Let's pop onto the hands and the knees. We're going to do some cat-cow because there's no better way to kind of gently welcome your spine into all of its work for the day. So we will do that now. Okay, hands are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, pulling up and back through the core. And just move around a little bit first, maybe a little bit of a hip to shoulder. And then let's move into our cat-cow. So breathing in slowly as the head and the tail lift. And then slowly exhaling, rounding the back. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Inhale. Head and tail lift. Exhale. Rounding. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more here. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in and out. Flip your toes under here and just apply a little bit of pressure as you move back. Now, maybe you only come to like a little bit of a crouching tiger position here. Maybe you want to come all the way back and up. However far you get, keep that breath deep. Take your time. It's Sunday morning. Breathe, enjoy. Keep the shoulders soft. And then releasing here, a little bit of a tap, tap, tap on the tops of the feet. Now, I didn't say grab a towel or anything. You might need to run and get something. I'm going to try and go at it without, but we're going to lift up onto the knees. Roll your shoulders back and just place your hands kind of in the low back on top of your butt. Bring the shoulder blades as close together as you can, that kind of nice scapula kiss. And my shoulders are kind of pushing up, rolling back, and then sliding down the back body. I'm really going to take my time here, and I encourage you to as well. We are going to incrementally start to pull up through the midline of the body. And once you feel you are lifting up, then we're going to start to kind of arch back a little bit more and more and more. So don't fight it with your head and your chin. You can kind of let the head start to float back. Let your mouth open, let the jaw be soft. And through all of it, just work with your own comfort and make sure the breath is not holding you back. This is a great way to find out where the tightness in the body is. Maybe it's easy to pull up through the pelvis, but hard to pull down through the shoulders. Or maybe it's the opposite. And then slowly coming back to a more centered position. Keeping this beautiful alignment like you're being pulled up. Remember that kind of head pulling up, decompressing along the spine, along the neck. And now I'm going to invite you to bring one leg forward, and I'm going to actually land on my heel. So we're coming, I'm also holding on to my sofa for a little bit of balance this morning. We're coming into Monkey God. So see how your balance is this morning. Boy, mine is garbage. So luckily I've got a block beside me, which I'm going to use my fingertips on. Oh, it makes such a huge difference. So let me just make this point now before I completely forget. This class today is about stretch. It's not necessarily about balance. So if you need to use a prop to enjoy the stretch, use the prop. It's important that we understand how using adaptive tools can really help us meet our goal. It's not a way of doing less of a practice. It's about actually doing what you want to do in the practice. So this has stopped me from toppling over. And I've got this nice kind of stretch starting to happen in that extended leg. Now, I want to go deeper. So I'm going to pull up and back through the core, and I'm going to start making my way forward, just fingertips to begin, onto the mat. This is a pretty tremendous hamstring stretch. And as I continue to breathe, and as you continue to breathe, you're going to feel a lot of stuff waking up. Soften your shoulders, soften into this a little bit if you can. And then I'm going to actually walk forward into a super duper deep lunge. Keep your head lifted. And as you're lifting your head, try and pull the shoulders down a little bit if they're jamming up into your ears. All right, now for a very ungraceful release, I'm going to bring both my hands over to the left-hand side, remembering there's a block there. I'm going to bring my leg back, walking back this time, and then I'm going to start to sink forward into a child's pose. And lucky me, I've got my block. I'm going to rest my head on it to begin.
the breath deep as you're in the child's pose. And stretch as much into this as you can. Slowly start to walk your hands back. Rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. It's funny already. I'm starting to feel this a little bit of kind of peaceful sense of chill settling in on me. That's a good sign. So for me, what that means is I'm tapping into the kind of practice that my body really needs. If you're if you are having different feelings right now, feel free to modify and introduce postures that are going to satisfy what you need. Because I realize sometimes we are not on the same page. Let's come on back to the knees and we're going to move to the other side here. So I've got my heel forward, nice straight leg. My balance seems to be better on this side. And sometimes that's just starting with a prop will kind of steady you. But use whatever you need whenever you need it. So I'm keeping this leg that's extended forward nice and strong. There is still a lot of wobbling happening in my body, but it's still easy enough to take deep, slow breaths in and out. I want to go deeper into the posture, so I'm going to start to ease down to my fingertips. If that is not comfortable for you, modify. Maybe you hold a piece of furniture as you lean forward, whatever. You're in your home, use anything you can, it's yours. Lots of deep breaths here. Really get that stretch happening. This is our first round of Monkey God. As you get kind of deeper into it and the body warms more, you can start to pull that hip back. My body's not warm enough for that yet, but that's where you could go in the future. I'm going to walk forward into my low lunge now. Negotiating that front foot. I want to remember to lift the chest, pull the head up. And if you can, think about dropping your hips even more. Check in on your breath. Make sure it's deep and fluid. Slow. Sweet. Okay, let's bring our hands down. We are going to try and flip this up and back into a down dog. What are the chances? So wiggle your way into your first down dog. So your ears are between the arms, maybe lift it up on the toe base. Lengthening through the back so that your tail lifts and then tuck it under. Few more breaths here if you can. And then walking the hands back to the feet. Hang out here. Drop the head. My knees are bent now. This is really comfy. Except for my plugged nose. And then with the nice tight core, start to roll up bit by bit by bit. Just like a rag doll waking up. Bring the shoulders to the back body. Let your chin tilt up. And as you're gazing up, let your jaw be soft, bring the shoulder blades together, lifting up through the chest. And then soften into a comfortable standing posture. Oh, I'm sniffly today. My goodness. All right. So let's go back into this kind of notion of opening up the body and really enjoying some deep stretches. Spread your toes as wide apart as you can. So really kind of get them spaced. Lift up through your arches, and you want your feet to feel really grounded into your mat or into the floor. And then we're going to start kind of not just sweeping up as we normally do, but kind of think more about doing these arcs with the arms. So these kind of circle things, whatever you call those. So we're going to lift up, getting really tall. Maybe you're looking up at the fingertips. And then as your arms come back behind you, bend the knees a little ways. Keep the feet grounded. Maybe we breathe up and in. Exhale slowly out as you bend your knees. Arms are coming down. Inhale. And exhale, starting to come down. Inhale. As you exhale and bring the arms back, open through the chest. Take up so much space coming down. So now that you've got the hang of this, go at your own speed. And maybe that's faster. Getting a little bit deeper every time. I think I'm gonna do one more of these. And then softening. Good. Just keep the shoulders rolled up and back, tight through the core, tail tucks under. Keep all of this fairly stable. And then I'm gonna look over one shoulder. And I'm keeping my hand on the top of my chest just so I stop from turning. We just want this through the head and the neck right now. And once your head goes as far as it can, looking over that shoulder, bring the shoulders back. Hold and breathe. Slowly move back to center, switch hands, and looking in the opposite direction. When you've gone as far as you think you can go, open the chest a little bit more. And then back to center. Good. Release the arms. This time, look over the first shoulder again. Tight through the core. And then actually turn it into a twist. So from the waist up, adding a little bit of a twist. Hold and breathe. Coming back to center, we're going to go to the other side. And back to center, wiggling the shoulders. So I just tapped into my parasympathetic. How do I know? Because my stomach just went, I'm not hungry, trust me. I've had like 14 meals already today.
But that's that sense when you're really lowering the breath into this deep in and out, when you're taking your time to stretch and create that space, your body will shift into the parasympathetic mode, which is what we call rest and digest. So this is the opposite of fight and flight. It's a really good space to be. It's very nurturing. It's very calm. And when you start to hear that gurgling stomach, that's when you know you're there. So this is a good sign for me. Okay. So we're going to get into our glutes now. So our butt. We were working on this a little bit last week, and I really like the dynamism of this movement. So we're going to start by bringing our feet out on slight angles. Shoulders are back, hips are tucked. Just start by moving into one bent knee. And as I have my hand here, because what I need to remember to do is actually keep that open. So it's almost as if your hand is pressing back here. Because if I'm not paying attention, what happens is this. So push back. Your knees going in the same direction as your toes. Good. Coming back up. And now we're going to go to the other side. So same thing. Imagine that's pushing back. When you get really, really skilled at this, you can actually kind of physically rotate the muscles. So they're externally rotating. And then come back up. Good. Let's do that again. Sinking down. Think about that external rotation. Pulling back up and coming down. External rotation. Good. Now, adding to this, when we come up, imagine you're engaging all the muscles one by one by one. So it's like you're a puppet on strings being pulled up. And then coming over, external rotation, pulling up, and that external rotation. Good. Think about the stretch even that's happening here. It should feel pretty good. So let's add some arms. Let's inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Feel everything engage as you lift up, and exhale. We'll come up again. And then exhale, relax your arms. Beautiful work. Okay. Changing this up a little bit. We're going to be inhaling as we did. This time, instead of just coming here, I want you to actually push back through your bum. So it's as if I'm going to stick my butt on the sofa. So my butt is coming way back. You can keep your arms out here, but only if you remember to keep your chin up. So let's inhale up. And exhale, sink that butt back. Beautiful. Inhale up. And other side, bring the butt back. Now, don't forget, as you come up, you want to feel that engagement pulling up, 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 up. Stretching and back. Butt comes out. Come on up. And relax your arms down. Good. We're going to add one more piece to this. So this time, when you are into the side lunge, externally rotating, butt back, I want toes to lift. And when we come into this position, this is a similar stretch to what we were doing for the monkey god pose. You're going to get into the hamstrings and you're going to get right up to the glutes. Again, when you're coming back up, it's not so much that you're pushing from the legs and the feet. You want to feel that you're pulling up internally, bit by bit by bit. Lift up with that pelvic floor. Let's start by sweeping up and exhale. So we come down, butt back, toes lift. Lifting up.
And other side. Smiling helps. Inhale up. And the side. Let's do one more each side. And down back, get those toes up. Once more up. And toes lift. All the way up. Let's swan dive forward. Fingertips to the mat. Heels come out. Take some time here. Just breathe. Tight through the core. Let's float back up. And bring the arms down. Great. While we've still got the feet in this alignment, let's come back down. And we're going to do a little bit more to stretch through the chest and the back. So we're going to bring our hands down, our fingertips down, so they're thumb to thumb. And that's going to allow us to twist up through one side and back, and then the other side and back. I guarantee one side is going to be way, way tougher than the other. And I want you to pay attention to that, because then we're going to do a 2-to-1 ratio. So I can barely tell left from right as it is. You figure out the tight side, and that's the one we're going to spend more time with. Let's sweep up together. Swan dive forward. Let all that air out. Take a few breaths as you settle here on the mat. Again, thumbs are side by each, which anywhere other than the East Coast means side by side or together. And when you're ready, bring an arm up and back. Take some breaths. Try to keep the legs straight as you do this. And then bring the arm down. Good. Go to the other side. I just found my tight side. I'm going to take a couple of breaths. Come back to center. Okay. Go back to your tight side, whichever one it was. Sweeping up. If you don't have a tight side, you are lucky. And coming back down to center. Good. Tight through your core, sweeping up, 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 up. Connect your hands, lengthen here over to one side. All the way up, and then over to the other side. All the way up, and releasing the arms down, a little bit of a shake. Okay, let's do that again. We're gonna do the 2-to-1 as we did before. And notice if the tight side is starting to participate in a better way. Let's sweep up to begin. Exhale, swan dive down. Dump the air out. Take a moment to let your head drop as you normalize the breath. Bring an arm up, doesn't matter which one. Keep the legs straight. Bring that arm down. Move to your other side. Bring the arm down. Go back to the tighter side. And releasing down. Sweeping up, all the way up, 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 up.
Connect the hands, lengthen, and then leaning into one side. Stretching up, leaning into the other side. And once more, swan dive down, same deal as before. Start with one arm coming up and back. Bring the arm down. Other arm comes up and back. Bring it down. Back to the tighter side, up and back. Bring it down. Slowly sweeping all the way up. Lengthen, stretch over to one side. All the way up and stretching over to the other side. All the way up and releasing down. Good. Now release your 4 feet. Oh my gosh. And a little bit of a wiggle around to make sure they're okay. Just got a big mouth of tea bag string. Beautiful. Okay. Give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. So by doing that, that piece the 3 times, I found that while left and right didn't end up being completely balanced, I actually released so much more of the tightness from my tighter side. That's really good. If I was doing my own practice, I could have kept going at that. Sometimes you can release it all, sometimes you can't, but it's important to notice. And again, I'm always talking about like if everybody does a home practice, I assume you all do, but if you are doing that and you find a tight spot, spend more time there. The more of that we can even out, the better our days become and our nights. All right, so let's take a moment. We're going to incorporate a little bit of a balance and just do a bit of a fun quad stretch. And by fun, I mean we're going to add some range of motion to this. So I'm going to start by sweeping the arm dramatically around so I can grab a hold of my foot. Again, if you want to hold onto a wall, maybe move closer to a wall, but you want to be able to start by holding that foot. So maybe I will stand this way. I hate not seeing you all, but I need to bring my other hand in front of the heart. And we're going to hold this initially for a little bit longer, just grounding into kind of the balance and how the posture works. So I'm keeping my knees fairly level. My gaze should be up. It was down. I'm bringing it back up. And as I continue to breathe, I'm going to see if I can move that heel closer to my bum. I'm going to release. Good. Now I'm going to move to the other side. So again, that really nice dramatic, this is just to remind us that when we're going to grab that foot, if we do like this, we don't have the right range of motion and that will limit us. So big dramatic sweep, plus it just looks cool. And when else do you get to do that in your day? Knees are aligned. Maybe one hand in front of the heart or anywhere else that's comfortable, maybe on the wall or a chair or a human. And as I continue to breathe, keeping my knees close together, hips are going to drop. I'm pulling up and back through the core, and I'm moving that heel closer to the bum, really getting that nice stretch. I'm releasing. Okay. Now what we want to do is add some more range of motion. This is, as I fix my pants, this is going to cause us to wiggle and wobble. That's okay. We're going to keep breathing. And what I want you to do is think about that kind of I'm a little teapot song, right? So we want to be coming into a posture almost like a teapot. This is very much a modified dancer pose. And we're going to be kind of hinging forward and back, forward and back. And what I want you to do while you're playing with balance is also start to play with how can we release some of the tightness in this hip and glute area. So I'll show you what I mean. We're going to be coming around, grabbing the foot, starting with the hand in front of the heart. And then what I'm going to be doing here is kind of moving forward and falling over, forward and back. So we're all going to do it together so we can all fall down together. How about we do that? So choose a side. Obviously, I didn't choose a good side today. Oh my gosh. Grabbing a hold here, hand to the heart. And then just starting to, as I said and demonstrated poorly, it's kind of playing around with this. You may find that absolute sweet spot. And maybe it's even bringing the foot forward. Your arm can come out or up, whatever feels good to you. And how about lifting the leg out to the side? And then let's release. Nice. Let's go on to the other side. Now, I will say often when we're doing balance postures, we'll do a lot of work to prepare our balance. Today, we're seeing what happens when we don't do that. And again, play around with the placement of the arm. Maybe the leg comes out to the side. And then when you're ready, let her go, give her a shake. Okay. So all of that is an aid of moving towards our one last posture that I want to work people through today. And it's the half moon. Now, if you have a block, this is an amazing posture to do with a block. I'm going to do it with and without, just to give you an idea of what it is. Half moon, although it is a very challenging balance posture, it's also an incredible way to strongly stretch pretty much every part of the body. When you're in the posture, you're going to feel it. This position for me feels almost as intensely stretchful as the triangle. And I really appreciate it for that. So let me show you without a block, and then I'll show you with a block. A lot of you already know what half moon is. Basically, we take a step forward. The hand on the same side of the foot that stepped forward is going to come up, and it's almost as if we're doing a cartwheel. I'm going to bring my hand down, but here's the important part. I want to bring my hand more towards the midline of the body. Don't line up your hand right in front of your foot. It's way harder to balance that way. So my hand is up. As it starts to come down, my back leg is going to lift. And that's the first stage of half moon. From there, you have the option to bring the arm out to the side. I'll show you what it looks like with a block. And people do it different ways. They bring the hand to the block. I like to hold the block and kind of clunk it down.
So same example here. I step onto a foot, hand on that side of the body, comes down, lining it up more so with the midline. Leg comes up. Get comfortable here. My foot is literally on my windowsill. And then as you're feeling comfortable, you can open this right up. So start to play around with the pose. Keep breathing. It can feel a little scary to kind of fall out of the posture, but just tumble gently. Once you do one side, move to the other. And again, if you're working with a block, great. If you don't have a block, even if you want to do this using a chair, would be really helpful as well. Now, if you have tried it both times, I realize that I'm walking you through the version where there's a lot more stretch. Let me walk you through the version where there is maybe a little bit more balance, because I'm seeing some legs come up and down. So maybe I've taken us one step too far too fast. So as I was saying, you want to be coming down towards the midline. When you do that, you get a really deep stretch. Let me change that up for you. This time as you try it, instead of coming towards the midline, bring your hand or your block a little bit outside of that foot and leg. So if it's this leg, I'm actually not towards the midline, I'm coming out. And see if that gives you more balance. And then if you have balance, you can get to the stretch. I realized we were skipping probably a very important step. Maybe do one or two more times on each side, just kind of play with it. And then when you have done your kind of introductory exploration of Half Moon, come on down to the mat. We're going to sit in our cobbler pose. Okay. So Half Moon deserves way more than what we just did, which is why next week we're going to do a bigger focus on Half Moon. Sometimes with the more complex postures, I enjoy having the opportunity to kind of intro it, let you try it. Maybe throughout the week, you want to try it a few more times. And then when we come together a week from now, we'll do a little bit more with it. But everybody's had a chance to taste it. Okay. Sitting up nice and tall here in cobbler's pose. Chest is forward, shoulders back, neck is long, deep breaths.
From here, I'm going to turn this into a 90-90, which means I have to keep my ankle on the mat at 90 degrees in front, 90 degrees in back. Don't suck the heels in. Keep this open. So if you're in kind of this center position here, start to pivot so you're facing that front shin. And from here, we're going to start to sink down. With your breath, deepen your physical position. So the deep breath will help you melt into this as much as is possible. I acknowledge this is not super comfortable, but oh, it's a good stretch for us. I'm going to walk my way back up. I'm going to flip my legs. Again, check for that 90-90 alignment. I'm still checking. My legs are not participating. And then we're going to start to pivot towards that front shin and lower down. A stretch like this is when I really miss being in a room full of people the most, because this stretch is usually one that people talk back and share their true feelings. Walk your way back up. Bring those legs together and we're going to lower down to the mat. Bring feet to the outer edges of your mat. Shoulders roll back, arms are just kind of hanging out at the sides. And then if it's comfortable, start to lower the legs to one side. They don't have to come all the way to the ground. And then very slowly moving to the other side. And then back, the center, beautiful. Let's bring the left leg up into the air, straight and strong, flex the foot. If it's comfortable, grab a hold of the leg and start to move it towards the core of the body. Maybe grab a hold of a toe. Keep breathing deeply. While you are here, maybe you can extend the other leg. And then the air that's in the leg, soften gently and cross it over the midline. And then bring that foot to the mat. The other leg's going to come way up in the air, nice and straight and strong. Foot is flexed. Again, pulling it in a little bit closer, maybe grabbing a hold of the toes. Notice where your breath is. If it's shallow, deepen it. Maybe stretching out the other leg. Notice how that shifts the dynamic of the pose. And soften the leg, guide it across the midline. With any kind of stretch, always keep in mind, we deepen the breath before we deepen the pose. So where's your breath? I love a good spinal twist. So let's bring both knees to the tummy. Our arms are out to the sides, bent at the elbows, palms facing up. Very slowly lower the legs to the left-hand side all the way down, and then the head turns in the opposite direction. Try to get both shoulders on the ground. And again, breathe. If you cannot breathe deeply while doing this, then soften until you can. And then very slowly switching to the other side. Release this posture and move into whatever feels best for you for the Shavasana. No great shock. We're going to go a few minutes over time. So if people have somewhere to be, it does not offend me if you have to leave early. But if you can hang on a few more moments, just stretch out on your mat. Soften through the entire body and just feel peace. Let your breath flow naturally, not forced. And just notice whatever you need to notice. take a deep breath as you start to add some motion, motion, motion or movement to your body. My goodness. Ah. And then stretch from your fingers to your toes. Grab a hold of your knees, give them a really good big hug, and then move to a seated posture. And again, just breathe, notice. And as we share these final moments, please know that I am wishing for all of you a little tiny chunk of the peace that I'm feeling now, which is really what just a practice focused on some good stretch can do for us. And again, next week when we come back together, we'll go a little bit further into half moon and we'll play around with it. And I'll show you some additional pieces that you can try with that posture, which is really challenging. But once you get it, once you kind of hold it once, it just becomes so much more accessible and quite enjoyable and a phenomenal posture for what it does for us. So I hope the goodness of this practice lingers with you for the rest of the day and through the week, and that you will continue to be chill and calm and surrounded by blessings. Namaste.